Hello and welcome to Sessions with Judith John. In this session today, we are going to see the first poem in Flamingo textbook, My Mother at 66. Before I begin with the poem, I would like to remind you to contact me using the WhatsApp number shown on the screen or to mail me at sessionswithjudithjohn@gmail.com for any further queries. And then this tip, keep in mind, if you want to score marks in literature, then be thorough with the textbook. The textbook is the only tool required for you to score full marks in literature section. So let's go on to the poem. Wish you all the best. So let's go directly to the textbook. My Mother at 66. The poem is written by Kamla Das. Let me tell you, this is a 1 mark question which all of you must know. The name of the poem as written in the textbook title and the name of the poet. So the poem My Mother at 66, written by Kamla Das. What should you know about Kamla Das herself? There is not much given here. You don't have to go about doing extra because there will be no question asked about the poet. All the same, for your knowledge, you should know a little more about the poet. So let's just have a reading. Kamla Das was born in Malabar, Kerala. She is recognized as one of India's foremost poets. Her works are known for their originality, versatility, and the indigenous flavor of the soil. Now, here, what's this word versatility? Let's quickly have a look. It's the ability to adapt or be adapted to many different functions or activities, or being good at many things. If you can just Google up a little and read on who Kamla Das was, you will get to see this and much more. And then the word indigenous. What's indigenous? Originating or occurring naturally in a particular place native to itself. What does Kamla Das write about? All that she has seen in her life, all that's happening around her, all those simple things. So Kamla Das has published many novels and short stories in English and Malayalam under the name Madhavi Kutty. Some of her works in English include the novel Alphabet of Lust and a collection of short stories named Padmavati the Harlot and other stories in 1992. In addition to 5 books of poetry, she is a sensitive writer who captures the complex subtleties of human relationships in lyrical idiom. My Mother at 66 is an example. Now let's go to see what's lyrical idiom. Lyrical itself means musical, beautiful, and an idiom is a group of words which mean something different from the literal meaning of the words when taken separately, individually. All right. Now, if you look at the last 2 lines, I have highlighted them here in the textbook. Complex subtleties of human relationships. This is the main theme of the poem. When we talk about human relationships, you yourself will see as a student your relationship with your classmates, or you separate them as some friends, and then your parents, your teachers, your aunts and uncles, so many people who are around you, the kind of relationship you maintain with them, or the kind of effort that goes in to maintain a good relationship. And always human relationship come with a lot of complexities, on their own. It's all about how we handle, how we maintain, what effort we make. So it's about that. Now, that is the larger theme. Coming to what she's actually talking about in this poem is aging. Aging is a natural process. Have you ever thought what our elderly parents expect from us? Now, this may not be a poem you'll directly relate to now at this age, because now, when you are in class 12, your parents may be in their 40s. You don't know what it is to have a mother who is 66 years old, but I'm sure you have a whole lot of your grandparents, gay and elderly people around. Take some time out to observe them or spend time with them to know more about them. Surely you would have read a lot of articles and seen a lot of things, even in the news, about how the elderly are being treated, or in most cases, how they are being neglected, how they feel lonely. Because when the mother here is 66 years old, her children are all fully grown adults and they are on their own. So they have no time for her. Okay, this is what happens in most households today, where the children are so busy living their own lives in different places, not even along with their parents under the same roof, where we don't get time to spend with our own family members. We are away on our own. And even if they live under one roof, what happens is each one is busy with their own work. There is one little advice I would like to give here. Please keep your textbook open and keep marking and highlighting. This will make it easy for you when you sit to prepare for your exam, and when you have to look at your book, and you will just have everything marked there, everything written there. So it will become very easy for you to study. So aging, we are talking about aging, we are talking about the elderly, how they spend their time. If you have grandparents, think about them. Do you spend time with them? No. Do you know what they expect from you? No. Do they want the money? Do they want? No. They just want you to spend some time with them. So let's see what the poet tries to convey through this beautiful poem she has penned over here. First, we'll have a reading of the poem, then we'll go line by line. And as we go, please do mark in your book also, so that it will be useful for you to revise and study well. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, doze, open mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked. But soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, worn, pale, as a late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. But all I said was, "See you soon, Amma." All I did was smile and smile and smile. Okay, I don't know how much you caught up with that poem that we read just now together, but here let's go line by line. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning. Now, if you know a little more about the poet Kamla Das, she was living in Pune most of the time. And her home is Kerala, Cochin, where her mother was living. She had come to spend some time with her mother on a holiday, and now she has to go back to where she was living. So she is now in the car going with her mother from her home in Cochin, her mother's home in Cochin, to the airport, which is going to fly off to Pune or wherever she has to live. So driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, What did she notice in the car while sitting with her mother? I saw my mother beside me, doors open mouthed. What did she notice? She noticed her mother doze. Doze means sleep. How? Open mouth. Her face ashen like that of a corpse. So why? You can see the meaning here. Ashen means turn very pale. So she saw her mother pale face, and she uses a simile over here. Please note that. Ashen like that of a corpse is a simile. Why like a corpse? I don't know how much of you have noticed of people who die. After they die, their skin color turns pale, a little darker than what it was when they were alive. So here the poet is comparing that she could see her mother sleeping with mouth open, and even her color has changed. Okay. Now here, why sleeping with the mouth open? What happens as you grow old? Your skin loosens up. It is not like tight like before. Your jaw drops easily. And if you have noticed your grandparents or old people around, they cannot sit up for long. They need to take a short nap in between now and then. So even as they are reading or sitting in the chair, they may just fall off asleep. So here the mother of old age at 66, she has lost all her youthful energy and she is therefore sleeping, tired. Okay. And because of old age, the jaw drops so easily, so the mouth naturally opens. She has to breathe. Okay. And her skin color also has changed. What are all these indications of old age? And when you're talking about old age, then you're close to death. What does the poet realize at this moment? And realized with pain. What does she realize with pain? Why pain? That she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away. Okay, now let's go to the next two lines. And realized with pain. Why? Because this was giving her a pain to realize that her mother is not going to live for a very long time. She has reached old age. She's going to die. She's going closer to death. She doesn't know if next holiday when she comes back whether she'll see her mother. So this is painful. And that she was as old as she looked. Let's have a look at the mean. This is a simile. The next simile. Please mark out. There are, this is the second simile we have come across over here. Ashen like that of a corpse is the first simile. As old as she looked. What is a simile? Where you use like or as to compare. So here, as old as she looked. She looked old. But soon she put that thought away. Why? Children, if you just see for yourself, when immediately any bad thought, any negative feeling comes into your mind, what do? We just shake ourselves. No, 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 not this. Okay, not this. We don't want to have that. That is what the poet was trying to do. Why am I thinking of death? Why am I thinking of losing my mother, that too? Of all, my mother. And that she just doesn't want to think of this negative thought at all. So she pushes that away. What does she do to distract herself? And looked out of the car's window at young trees sprinting. At young trees sprinting. Right. Why? You can just check out again the meaning. Running past. Sprinting is running. I think all of you who are interested in sports, you know that very well. the merry children spilling out of their homes. Okay. Now, let's carefully look at this. She's sitting there. She doesn't want to keep that negative thought in her mind. She brushes off and she looks out of the window. And what does she see there? Trees printing. Why are the trees running? When the car is in motion, this is an important 2 marks question there. So when the car is moving ahead, what would it feel like? Like as though the trees are running past. And then she sees the merry children spilling out of their homes. I'm sure all of you would have somewhere had a chance to go on a road trip and you would be seeing out of the car's window, okay, or the bus's window, and you can see these things. It looks like as though the trees are moving, and then you will see children here and there, maybe you're passing a village or a countryside, and children are just jumping out of their homes, play, spilling out of their homes. Both the trees printing and merry children spilling out of their homes is used here by the poet to bring life, energy, youth. Okay, because she says young trees printing, doesn't say old trees, and then merry children. Both it's full of life and energy. She wants to keep herself away from the thought of death. Okay, but after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, she looked again at her. Okay. So now they have traveled, they have reached the airport. And at the security check at the airport, we all know what happens. We have to just say goodbye. And our whoever our dear ones who have to fly will be going. So she moves. Before that, she looks at her mother again. What does she notice? Worn. You can see the meaning of it down here as well. Okay. All right. It's also, I have marked here the same thing. Pale, looking ill, tired, colorless. Okay. And she notices this pale look of the mother again. So she is again sad. The third simile used in the poem here is as a late winter's moon. So she's comparing, this is again another question that will be asked. She's comparing the mother's look to the late winter's moon. What happens to the winter sky? Summer sky is bright, blue, and everything, the stars in the night, you can see them shining. What happens in winter? It's hazy, dull, all covered. And so the moon also appears to be kind of very dull. So she compares the look of her mother now in her old age, not the young mother she saw when she was a child. Now her mother is old. Okay, she's 66 years old. And she felt that old familiar ache. What is that old familiar ache? No? My childhood's fear. What is the childhood's fear? As a child, if you remember even your own childhood or anyone as a child, if you have noticed children who are very young, 1 year old, 2 years old, even up to 5 years old, what happens? Always they want the mother by the side. The moment they have to be sent to school or somewhere else, they'll start crying so much. Why do they cry? Because they can't see the mother and they say, I want to go back to my mama. Okay. So this, she says, it's childhood's fear comes back. And I want to all the time keep seeing my mother. I don't want to lose her. The fear of losing the mother. Then during, her childhood, it was a temporary feeling. Mother will not be there for some time around and the child will start crying. But now, as a mature person and her mother being in her old age, what does she do? How does she respond? All I said was, see you soon, Amma. So what does she do? She hides all her pain, her feelings, and then she very nicely says, see you soon, Amma. She's trying to put some positivity. She's giving her mother the reassurance. Don't worry, Mama. Nothing will happen. She wants to just tell her that she's there for her. All I did was smile and smile and smile. Now, this is another figure of speech used over here, that's repetition. What is the smile all about? When you want to hide all your pain and not pass it on to the other person and just be fine or make the other person feel fine, you'll smile. And that's what the poet does. Okay. Now let's quickly go with the questions also on one round. What is the kind of pain and ache that the poet feels? What does she feel? Okay. It's about time, passing time. It's about aging, that aging spares none. What are the young trees? Why are the young trees described as sprinting? Okay. They bring contrast, and also the moving car makes it appear so. Why has the poet brought in the image of the merry children spilling out of their homes? Again, contrast, youth and old age. Mother sitting by her side in her old age, and then outside, young trees, young children. Okay. Why has the mother been compared to the late winter's moon? Both lack shine and strength. She is dull and the cloud is hazy. What do the parting words of the poet and a smile signify? Hides inner pain, gives assurance, overcomes pain, in fact, gives reassurance with that great smile. Now, notice that the whole poem is in a single sentence punctuated by commas. It indicates a single thread of thought. So it's blank verse. There's no rhyme or all that in rhyme scheme in the poem. Interspersed with observations of the real world around and the way these are connected to the main idea. Okay, what is interspersed? It's scattered or placed here and there. Okay, what is scattered all over the poem? A single thread of thought with observations from the real world that she's seeing around. Very beautifully penned. Has put in all her feelings. Now, for your exam, when you are preparing, pay attention to the three similes in the poem. The contrast, which is used about the young trees sprinting and the merry children spilling out of their homes. Okay. Study smartly. Look for the important things which are highlighted and make sure that you know them well. Do well. Okay. All the best. God bless you all. So, hope you enjoyed learning the poem with me. We'll go ahead with many more. Keep watching Sessions with Judith John for more tips and inputs to excel and stand out. You can use this WhatsApp contact or even mail me at sessionswithjudithjohn@gmail.com for online tutorial, for any kind of doubt clearing sessions as per your requirement. Just contact me. I hope this poem was very useful to you. Please remember that this topic is also a section B topic on the way we treat elders, on aging, how the elderly live in our country, what are their feelings. Think about it and keep reading your textbooks over and again. Thank you.